Hello, my name's Jackie Notch, and I am here to help you guys work out some crafts that go along with the Compassion Camp theme. Today is going to be session 1, and it's talking about having compassion for others and what others see in you. So by jumping into action, we can ease someone's hurt or anxiety or fear by empathizing with them or giving them compassion when we see what they're going through. As we practice identifying and naming our own emotions, we are able to recognize them better in others. So we will also see there are opportunities all around us to act with compassion and to receive it from others as well. Through Miriam's story, we will learn the central principles of empathy and compassion, and we will learn that when we cultivate compassion within ourselves and each other, compassion ripples out to others. So think about, like, it hasn't rained in a really long time, I get that, but when it does rain and there's like big puddles, what do you think of when you see those puddles? Do you like want to go jump right in the middle of the puddle, or do you walk around the puddle so that you don't get wet? I think a lot of kids like to jump right into the puddle. So when you do that, do you like jump head first, just make a big ripple, and then do you watch how that water goes? So it starts with you and it just ripples out to the edges. And that's kind of what we're talking about with compassion, is that it starts with you, but it can go out to others, and it really affects others when you're compassionate with people. So we are going to do our first activity right now. The things that you're going to need from your kit are just a mirror and a Sharpie. That's it. So go ahead and find that, and then when you do, just one reminder, we're going to be writing a lot on this mirror, so try to write small so that everything fits in there. So the first thing that I want you to do is anywhere on the mirror, whether it's on the top or in the middle or along the bottom, just write child of God, because that's what we all are. So, and that's the most important thing, so that's why I'm having you start with that. So anywhere on the mirror you can write child of God. And this is your mirror, and this should be permanent, so this is kind of a cool little keepsake for you. The next thing I want you to do is think of 3 positive things or emotions that people think of when they think of you. So, like at school, are you kind? Are you helpful? Are you caring? Are you, those kind of things? Or at home, what do your parents think of? Anybody, what do others think of you when they see you? So, and just write those anywhere in the mirror. And things that affect people. So even if you're funny, that kind of stuff affects other people. If somebody's having a bad day and you're funny and you make them laugh, that can really brighten somebody's day. So even little things like that are important. So put those 3 things on here. Okay, so when you have those 3 things on, just kind of reflect on those a little bit. So that's how people see you. That's pretty cool when you think about it. The next thing I want you to do is put 2 positive things that you feel about yourself. So dig deep in, think about yourself and what things you really like about yourself, and put those on here. Let's see. And it might even be one of the same things that you used for what people thought of you. Like I put that I think people think I'm caring. So if that's something that I feel about myself too, you can put that twice. So go ahead and reuse words is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so when you have that done, you have all these words on the mirror and you can look at it, and you can look at it every day. And if you're, not feeling the best someday, you just look at that and you remind yourself of the positive things that people feel about you. So compassion, and I know as a young person it might be kind of hard to kind of see the whole totality of that, but when I was a sheriff's deputy, many times we would have to go to calls, like somebody lost their dog, somebody lost their child, somebody got in a car crash, so they were scared, or they were mad, or they were angry, sad, all these kind of emotions. So as a deputy, I really had to try to understand that. So maybe if a child had never been killed of mine, I didn't know how they exactly felt, but I knew how they would feel. So that kind of thing. I remember one time I went to a house and I had to tell this lady that her husband had been killed in a car crash. And so she had 2 small children, one was a baby. And so I had to deal with her. Well, if I would have just said, hey, your husband died in a car crash, and then left and gone and taken another call somewhere, that poor woman would have just been even more devastated. So I stayed. I think I stayed at her house for 4 hours, and I held her baby for her. I took care of her little 2-year-old. I tried to do as much as I could to help her because of what she was going through at that time. So, that's all just compassion. It's patience, it's caring, it's helpful, it's all those kind of things. But those little things, it was 4 hours out of my day, but I was working. It really wasn't that much, but to her it was a lot. So it meant a lot to her for me to just stay there and help her. So those little things mean a lot to people. And those are the ripples that we're talking about that keep going out and affecting others. And it might even affect people you don't even know. So that's the cool thing about compassion. All right, that's the end of lesson 1.